Namaste, everyone. We'll start the webinar today in another 5 minutes or so. By the time Dr. Kuldeep Dhiman will join us. This is Pragya and Namaste, everyone. I'll be hosting the webinar today. While we wait for him, you all can put in the chat where are you joining from. I hope you people are able to chat. Just let me know if you're not. Namaste, Archana ji. Nice to see you here. Namaste, Devraj ji. Ryan from Los Angeles. Namaste, William. How are you? Stina from Florida. Sam Kumar from Chicago. Namaste, all of you, whoever is joining. Nice to see some students, some old faces, old names, and some new ones joining us for this webinar. Shushma ji from Mumbai. Marvin from Florida. Chaitanya from Malaysia. Namaste, namaste everyone. Nice to see people are joining us from all over the world. That's great. She will be joining us soon and we can start the webinar. Namaste, Dr. Dhiman. Dr. Kuldeep Dhiman is here. Namaste. Can we just wait for another 2-3 minutes? 30 participants so far. Let us wait for others to join for 5 more minutes and we can then join. Sam Kumar. You can please unmute yourself and ask the question, Samji.
Yes, namaste everybody, all my friends. Yes, Sam Kumar, MD. Okay, Doctor Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, doctor. Please unmute yourself and then. Can they unmute themselves or you have to unmute?
Yeah, they can unmute. It's unmuted.
No, I unmuted. Thank you. Thank you for giving me opportunity. It's an accident. I raised the hand. I apologize.
Okay, no problem.
William Fairchild is there. Namaste. Let me see who are the others. How do I see?
Believe you'll have to click on the participants.
Yeah, I did. I can see only HUA host and
Yourself.
Attendees. Attendees.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're able to see the attendees. Okay.
Yes. Let me see. Namaste, Sam Kumar, Abhishek.
Where
Virginkar.
yes.
Virginkar. Okay. Then we have AG, Archana, Shyam Sundar, Arun Kapoor, Avinash Kumar, Chandra Hari, Chandrakant, Christina Hogan, Christina Hogan, Colin Higgins, Damodar Deepak, Devraj, Dilip Madanje, Dinika Mirpuri, Sonal Mitra, Dr. Okay. Dr. Chitra Ranjan, Dr. Kanchan Bhatia, Upendra Prasad, Kavita Saraf, oh, Josh Ngorgio,
Would you want me to read the names, Kuldeep ji?
maybe you can say Namaste to everybody. I think
Yes, so namaste to everyone who's joining us, and we have 48 participants so far. So let us just wait for maybe another one or 2 minutes.
yes.
And we can have the question and answer session after Kuldeep ji finishes his presentation, his explanation of Nyaya Vaisheshika. And please put in your questions in Q&A box. We will take it after his presentation.
Namaste to everyone from Atul Shah, MD. Shah. Many doctors this time. Are they medical doctors or?
Yes, as far as I know, Atul ji is a doctor. Dr. Kanchan
Anyway,
Bhatia.
now let me give you this information. Vaisheshika Darshana, the Ayurveda, the Indian science of medicine, is based largely on Vaisheshika Darshana.
Kuldeep ji, we cannot see your video. You're off video.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's better. Yes, thank you.
This Ayurveda, the science of medicine, the Indian science of medicine, is based largely on Vaisheshika Darshana. Perhaps some of the doctors know this. I don't know. Okay. I think you can start because it's.
Yes, let us start now. Let me
already
quickly.
Yes, 60 of them are there, so that's good enough.
Yes.
Chat, what are they? Namaste to everyone. Okay, namaste. Medical doctor. Right. Yep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so we can start. Yes, we can
please.
start the webinar. And let me just quickly introduce Dr. Kuldeep Dhiman. Most of you are definitely aware of Dr. Dhiman's teachings and his classes at HUA. Dr. Dhiman has master's degree in English philosophy, Sanskrit, and graphic design. And he has a PhD from Punjab University. He has published books like The Yog Vashishta of Valmiki, The Ultimate Iconoclast. This is on the philosophy of Osho. Emotion, the Essence of Life. This is about evolutionary psychology. The Yog Sutram, which is a translation from Sanskrit to English with the Vyas Bhashya. And he's currently involved in making YouTube videos on the Yog Sutram in English and Hindi. He also teaches Sanskrit through Bhagavad Gita at Punjab University, which has proved to be a very effective indirect method of teaching Sanskrit. He has investigated lot of cases of reincarnation, and his studies on reincarnation have been published in India and abroad, well known for reincarnation research all over the world. And his other interests are music, photography, and cinematography. Dr. Kuldeep Dhiman has been teaching at HUA for almost 3 years now. And he has taken courses like Sankhya Darshana, Nyaya Darshana, Vedanta Sara, and now Nyaya Vaisheshika. So Nyaya Vaisheshika, Kuldeep ji, would you like to start?
Yes. Namaste, all sadhavis and sadhus who are present here. Namaste to all of you. Am I allowed to share the screen? Yes. Okay. Is the screen there? Hello.
Yes, Kuldeep ji, we can see the stream.
Okay, the title is Vaisheshika Darshana, from physics to moksha. Pragyaji mentioned Nyaya Vaisheshika. Actually, Nyaya and Vaisheshika are two different philosophies. Nyaya, I've been teaching already. This is just Vaisheshika. This is the twin philosophy of this one. So this webinar is for Vaisheshika, mainly only for Vaisheshika Darshana. So the title is From Physics to Moksha. And I'd like to tell all the sadhvis and sadhus present here that don't see this as a webinar. You see this as a class, as an interactive class. So please, whenever you feel like you can ask a question. I may not be able to read it, but I would request Pragyaji to see if there are any questions, then she can
Yes,
please
of course.
interrupt. You can interrupt me, there's no problem.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to be like one-way communication. So Vaisheshika Darshana, what it is. This darshana means, the nearest word in English is philosophy. So this philosophy is not taught much, even in India. They don't teach it much. It's not that that popular in academics. They give you some brief idea of it, but not in detail. Very few people teach this, and I think even in the West, there are not many people that people teach Vedanta. They teach yoga, but very few you'll find. I doubt if many people teach Vaisheshika. Webinar attendance versus. Okay, so the title must appear a bit incongruous to you. From physics to moksha. Physics is all about the world, and moksha, we think it's about the other world. We call it spiritualism and something like that. And physics is all matter. So are they compatible? Yes, they are very much compatible. I would like to begin with a shloka. Shri Sundari Sadhana Tat Pranam Yogascha Bhogascha Karasata E. Shri Sundari is the mother goddess. Those who worship the mother goddess, for them, yoga and bhoga. See, yoga is like generally considered to become not indulged in the world. Generally we think like that, sannyasa. But they say no, sannyasa, yoga and bhoga. Bhoga is enjoyment of the world. So sannyasa as well as bhoga, karastha, they do it in the same instant, at once. So those who worship the mother goddess, for them yoga and bhoga are not different. For them physics and moksha are not different. In fact, they are complementary. One can lead to the other. So don't be guilty about your wealth. And if you're enjoying life, don't worry about that. Vedic systems do not teach you to give up the world. They want you to enjoy the world, but with your eyes open. Right now, we are enjoying the world, in a drugged kind of a state. We are not even enjoying it properly. To enjoy something, you have to be really alert. Suppose you are unconscious and I put your favorite, say, cookie in your mouth. Will you enjoy it? You can't. To enjoy, you have to be conscious. And conscious in the real sense. We seem to be conscious, but we are not conscious. Because the mind is never where it is supposed to be at that time. When I'm eating something very delicious, I'm thinking about the stock market, I'm thinking about family, I'm thinking about some enemies, I'm thinking about politics, so many things. So where am I enjoying? I finish the dish and then really, oh, did I eat it? I don't even know. How can you enjoy it? To enjoy, the mind has to be present. So this is what the Shastras teach, and Vaisheshika Darshana is no exception to it. So the Rishi who wrote Vaisheshika is called Kanada. His name is Kanada. More about it later. So, and it's also called Aulukya Darshana. I'll enlarge it a bit. Aulukya Darshana, because he was the son of Uluka, and another rishi called Uluka, he was his son. So he was called Aulukya. Just like Dasharatha's son is Rama, he's called Dasharathi, son of Rama. So similarly, Uluka's son is called Aulukya. It's also called Padartha Shastra, the science of things, the science of the world. And we'll take help of Prashastapada Bhashyam. Bhashyam means a commentary, the commentary of Prashastapada, and Brahma Muni Bhashyam. This is an ancient one, about 1500 years old, and this is a recent one, this century. So Brahma Muni, he was a great scholar, and he wrote this Bhashyam in Sanskrit. Many people think Sanskrit was written only thousands of years ago. No, people write it even now. Study it. So he wrote this. Let's go ahead. Very briefly, most of you perhaps know this, but some may be new. Indian philosophical systems are divided into two wings largely, 6 Astika Darshanas and 3 Nastika Darshanas. In Astik Darshana, in other words, those who take Veda to be the ultimate source of knowledge, they accept the authority of the Veda. So they are Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa. This is also called Vedanta. Then we have Sankhya, then Yoga Darshana, Nyaya Darshana, and Vaisheshika Darshana. So we'll be studying this one. These are usually taught in pairs. Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, Sankhya and Yoga, Nyaya and Vaisheshika, because the subject matter is very similar. Then the Nastik Darshanas are Charvaka, they are the Indian materialists, Jainism and Buddhism. They don't accept Veda as the ultimate source of knowledge. That's why they're called Nastika. All right, we move ahead now. So the fundamental axioms you must know. See, we are dealing only with this now, only with the Astik Darshanas. So all of them have one thing in common. Everything is Atma alone. Whatever is there in the universe, nothing but Atma. Secondly, nothingness is impossible. Nothingness, that void, there will be no stage. There was no stage, there is no stage, and there will be no stage when there will be nothing left in the universe. Everything will be there. Only thing is, they will keep changing form, that's all. So you'll never have total emptiness. This is impossible according to the Vedic systems. And then the effect is always present in the cause in a subtle form. Every philosophy must have a theory of causality. So the effect is there, it's nothing new. It was there in the cause. For example, you make a ring out of gold. So gold ring was present in that lump of gold from which it was made, but in a subtle form, unmanifest form. From that gold, you can make anything. All right. So Nyaya Vaisheshika are complementary philosophies. They complement each other. Nyaya focuses mainly on pramanas. I'll tell you what pramana is. Pramanas, that is the instruments of cognition. My eyes, the nose, 5 sense organs, mind, all these, through this I get knowledge of the world. So these are called pramanas, inference, and so many other things. I will come to that. Vaisheshika focuses on prameya. Prameya is the thing to be known. Nyaya focuses more on how to know a thing, and Vaisheshika focuses on what is to be known through those things. Okay. So, meanwhile, some of you keep giving me feedback if I am on the if what I'm saying is being clearly understood or not. Just yes or no, something like that. We are following. Okay. So this diagram shows you the pramanas, instruments of cognition. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Thank you. It does encourage me because I can't see you. So at least I should have some indication whether. Okay, now this is a flower. This is a person who is looking at the flower, and obviously to know this flower, what is the pramana? To know the color and shape of the flower. The instrument of knowledge for knowing the flower are the eyes, right? To know its smell, the instrument is the nose. Okay, so these are called pramanas, 5. If there's a taste, then for to taste, the tongue is the pramana. To see whether it's soft or hard, the skin is the pramana. And if there is some sound coming from there, the sound of wind or a bee or something, then the ears are pramana. So these are called pratyaksha pramana, direct sense perception. We do get our knowledge from direct sense perception. Okay, but this is not the only way we get knowledge. It's not the only way. Next is, now you're sitting in the house and suddenly you hear a barking sound. Then without looking out, you know it must be some dog barking, although you have not gone there to see it. So this is called inference, anuman. So this is another way of getting knowledge. Everything okay? All right. Then sometimes we get knowledge by upamana also. Upamana is comparison. For example, I have never seen a, say, a panther in my life, and you are talking about a panther, and I say, what is a panther? Then you say, okay, have you seen a tiger? I say, yeah, I have seen. Yeah, it looks like a tiger. Okay, so I do get some idea by comparison. That's what it is. Then another one is Shabda Pramana. Arthapati, I'm leaving out for a while. Shabda Pramana. This is, we get knowledge through a trusted source. Most of the knowledge, in fact, I think more than 80% of the knowledge what we have is because of the Shabda Pramana, because we trust somebody. When you go to buy a medicine, what do? You just ask for a medicine, you go to a doctor, the doctor gives you some medicine, and you have that medicine. Why? You're not an expert, although some are doctors here, but most of us, we are not experts. Why do you take that medicine? Why? Because we trust the doctor. The doctor is Shabda Pramana for us as far as medicine is concerned. This doctor may not be Shabda Pramana as far as mathematics is concerned or music is concerned. But when it comes to medicine, this doctor I trust, and the medicine this person gives or prescribes, then I go to a chemist and buy the medicine. I see the label over there. If it's made by some good company, I buy it. Okay. I have no other, avenue. I have to trust. I can't test the medicine whether it's really that medicine or not. Whatever is written, I trust. So this is Shabda Pramana. Now you have come to Vaisheshika because you have heard from people, from scholars, that Vaisheshika Darshana is a very, very, very nice darshana. It's a very profound darshana, and that's why you are spending your time here. Otherwise, why would you come? So that is called Shabda Pramana. So right now we'll go only to these. Now look at this. When you're looking at this flower, the eye in this case, in the case of color and shape, eye is the pramana. Okay, this is called pramana. And what you're seeing is prameya, what you're cognizing. So in this case, this flower is a prameya. Okay, so this is pramana, this is prameya. And then the knowledge generated that this is a flower, that this is the red flower. Okay, this is called prama or jnana. Okay? This is called prama or jnana. or pramiti. So that's how knowledge is gained. You need an instrument of knowing, and there should be something to be known. If there's no flower, I'll get no knowledge. And the resultant knowledge is called Brahma or Jnana. Now, sometimes you are there, eyes are also open, the flower is also there, but still you may not notice the knowledge that this is a flower won't happen. Why? Would anybody like to answer? Can they unmute themselves? Can they unmute themselves? Pragya
Yes, Kuldeep, they will have to raise their hands and I can allow them to talk.
Okay, it'd be nice to have some.
Yes, sure. Anyone who can,
Nice
yes.
to hear some voices in between.
Sonalji, you can.
Sonalji wants to say something. Yes, Sonalji. Sometimes the flower is right in front. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute her, Pragya.
I have already.
But I can't
yourself.
see. I can see it's she's not unmuted.
Sonalji, you can unmute yourself.
I think she can't.
No, she can. Samji, can you unmute yourself?
I think there is some problem.
Yeah, I did unmute myself. I'm Sam here.
Okay.
I think that's called the perception. And it's been an interesting thing. I'm a teacher, I'm in academic medicine, because brain stores everything in images. Once you see something, the brain should compare with that image that is previously seen. If it matches, it will be recognized as that form. Maybe any type of flower, the brain will match that with the image of the flower already formed in the brain from previous perception, and we recognize that as flower, and that will be stored in the memory. That's the basic science.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking right now. I'm asking is, you are there, your eyes are open, there's a flower in front of you, but sometimes still the knowledge that this is a flower won't happen. Sometimes the flower will not be cognized. Why? Sonalji, can you unmute yourself or?
Yeah, I can't answer that. That is at the metaphysical level, spiritual level.
Let somebody else. Okay, I think, let me tell you, so sometimes, especially teachers have this experience. They are teaching, the students are there, they appear to be looking at the teacher, and they appear to be very intently listening also, but still nothing goes in here. Still nothing goes. Why?
Yeah,
Why do you think?
That is perfect. Sorry.
I have
Bapi Raju.
Bapi Raju, yes, please.
yes, maybe because the mind is thinking about something else, concentrated on something else.
You're right. See, without the mind, no knowledge will be possible. If now some of you in this class, let's say, I hope all are being attentive, but let's say, imagine if somebody is worried about something. Suddenly you get a phone call, there is some serious news or something. After that, you won't be able to concentrate what's being taught because your mind is got diverted. So knowledge will not happen without a mind. So just having eyes and object won't create knowledge. There has to be the mind, and that mind should be focused on that, what you say. Only then knowledge will happen. Other, you notice this every day, experience it when you drive, say, from your home to office or anywhere. There are thousands of things on both sides of the road, even on the road. How many things do you notice? How many things do you notice? Not much, because you're concentrating on driving. Look ahead. If you start looking here and there, then you may, get into trouble. So when you are really attentive, other things won't come to your cognition. Now, I'd like to believe all are listening to me very intently. And for the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if you really listen to me very attentively, I'm sure you won't have heard the hiss of, let's say, if you have a fan or an air conditioner or a wind is blowing or maybe some traffic outside, you may not have heard that. If you're totally attentive, you won't. That background noise, this mind cancels out. Zoom has to cancel it out artificially. Zoom also cancels out background noise, but our mind filters it out automatically because mind can focus only on one thing at a time, right? So there has to be an object, there has to be pramana, and also you should be, the mind should be there. Otherwise, you won't get it. You know, my mind, people say absent-minded person. Well, guys, you are thinking of something else. Another beautiful thing. Your eyes are there, the mind is there, there's no flower, but still you may see a flower. Isn't it possible? You can hallucinate, you can imagine, you can do so many things. So you can see things. So even if there's no, that's the beauty of the mind. Mind can create things for you. Okay, so Pramata is the one who knows, it's called Pramata. So these are the words you should know. Now, Nyaya Darshana, I begin with Nyaya because this is a twin of Nyaya. So it says there are 16 main padarthas. Out of, if you know, there are actually thousands and uncountable padarthas. I'll come to what padartha is in this universe. But they are saying if you know 16 mainly, then you will get moksha. Nishreyas adhikama. You will get moksha. So you should know the world in order to know, to become free of it. So it begins with pramana. You may repeat, even if I can't hear you, pramana, prameya, sanshaya, prayojana, drishtanta, siddhanta, avyava, tark, nirnaya, vada, jalpa, vitanda, hetvabhasa, chala, jati, nigrha sthananam. By proper knowledge of all this, what will happen? Tattva jnana, with the right knowledge of them, nishreyas adhigama, you get moksha. Nishreyas means moksha, if you know these properly. So among these, the first two are pramana. Pramana we just discussed, right? Pramana are the sense organs, and that inference and shabda pramana, that is verbal testimony, written testimony. Those are the pramanas. Pramanas are the means of knowing something. How do you know the world? Through these pramanas. Prameya are what you know. This flower was the prameya in this case, right? So prameyas, everything else is prameya. I am the one who is going through my sense organs, and everything else is prameya for me. Same thing with you. So Nyaya focuses on this part mainly. It talks about how to see things properly, how to reason properly, how to debate properly. That part Nyaya focuses more. Vaisheshika focuses more on the outer world, the things that are out there, focuses more on them. So that's why it's called Padarth Shastra. Physics, you can call it. Physics is called Padarth Shastra. It's about things out there, physics, chemistry. So it's more like that. Okay? So this is called Padarth Shastra. So this is what Vaisheshika deals with largely. And what is Padartha? Generally, those who know Indian languages, Padartha means a thing, solid thing, correct? That's what you must have heard this. Ye kya padartha? What is this padartha? But that's in general language, but that's not the real meaning of padartha. Pada means a word. Pada means a word. Artha means whatever the word represents. See, every word represents something, either solid or even imaginary. For example, the word horse. Now you got some image in your mind, didn't you? Right? So that image, that four-legged animal with a tail, that which runs very fast, that is called horse, and the word is horse. So horse is pada. and that real animal there is earth. These are four things which we can see, but then what about love? What is the image here? Justice. There's no image, but some idea we have. That idea, that is the artha of love. That's the artha of justice. When I say horse, and if you see a horse there, you will agree. If you, instead of horse, if you see a, let's say, cow there, you say, no, you're wrong. That's not a horse, that's a cow. That can be settled, right? There's not much debate about that. But about such things, love and justice and equality, all that, there's a lot of debate all the time. Nobody feels they are loved. Everyone says, nobody loves me, nobody loves me, nobody understands me. That's because your idea of love is something, and the person who you think should love you has a different idea of love. So the other person says, I love you so much, what more can I do for you? I can't, split my chest and show you that, I love you so much. So you must remember, this is also padartha, love, and whatever it represents to you, that's called padartha. All right. Now, Nyaya talks about 16 padarthas. Vaisheshika not reduces, they talk mainly about 6 and 7 actually. One was added later. You can say dravya, guna, karma, samanya, vishesha, and samvaya. These are the 6, and later abhava was added. Abhava means absence of something. Right? There were, I think, more than 100 who registered, and out of that, 99 are here. So there's an abhava of others who didn't register. Others. But that doesn't mean those people don't exist. They exist. Why don't you add one more and make it 100? That would be quite ego satisfying. All right. So this is abhava. So what is dravya? We'll be talking mainly about dravya today. So what is dravya? Okay, all things in the universe fall into these 6 categories, broadly. Some scholars say that abhava was added later. We'll talk about that later. The first 10 sutras of the first chapter of the 9th Anika, Vaisheshika talk about abhava. So this contention is wrong when it was added later. Because the 9th chapter, they do talk about abhava. What are the main contentions of Vaisheshika Darshana? First of all, why it is more known? I mean, it's a unique reason. It talks about paramanus. They says the whole universe is made of paramanu. Paramanu is generally translated as atom. Okay, but this is not the atom of modern physics. Because modern physics, the atom actually means that which cannot be divided. So originally that was the meaning even in the West, even in history. But now they have divided even atom. So this is not the atom this Vaisheshika is talking about. For them, atom, see, they say take anything and you can theoretically go on dividing it. You can go on dividing, make further pieces. And a stage will come when you can't divide any further. So that particular point, that is called a paramanu. Anu means smallest thing. Parama is extremely small, the smallest thing possible. So these are paramanus, and they are indestructible because they have no parts. Only thing which has parts can be destroyed. For example, you can't split space, you can't burn space, you can't cut space, you can't do anything to space because space has no parts. Similarly, these pramanus. Pramanus may be translated as atoms. Okay. Now, what's the process of how matter is made according to Vaisheshika? two Parmanus. Okay, this is one Parmanu, smallest unit. One more Parmanus make one Dvayanuk. This is one dyad. Okay, two. Then three of these. One, two, three. They make three Dvayanuks make one Sareno triad. So these three will make one Sereno. Three of these like this will make one this one, and fourth Serenus make one Pratusrenu, tetrad. Okay. Now these Serenus are the smallest visible forms of matter, and fourth Serenu make one Chatusrenu. These are the initial building blocks of the universe. Now it's becoming really physical. So this is one contention of Vaisheshika. Then Shrishtivada. Shrishtivada is creation of the universe. So everything has a cause. Therefore, this universe must also have a cause. And it has a theory of causation. It's called Asatkaryavada. Asatkaryavada means there's a cause and there's an effect. It says the effect is always anitya. Anitya means not permanent. That's why anything you make gets destroyed in time, right? And we also got destroyed in time because we also had some cause, and like that goes on. Only the ultimate cause that never gets destroyed. So this is called Asatkaryavada. Okay, and then one is Mokshavada. So it talks about moksha. Although it is physics, but it teaches us physics so that we can get moksha. Now we spoke about 6 padarthas. Out of that, one was dravya. So dravyas. What are the dravyas? Prithvi, earth, apa, water, tejaha, fire, vayuhu, vayu is wind, akasha is space, kala is time, dik is direction, east, west, north, south, atma, atma is the self, mana is the mind. These are the dravyas. We should know these properly. Out of these are the solid ones, in the sense gross, we can feel them, see them, but space, time, dik, atma, mind, these are subtle. You can't see them, but that doesn't mean they are not. So what's a dravya? First of all, what's a dravya? Dravya is something which is known from its gunas. Guna means property or a quality. Okay. For example, this is a ring. This is a gold ring. How do you know it's a gold ring? So, do you know it through its shape? How do you know this is a gold ring? How do you know? Pragyaji says only you can unmute yourself and maybe you can tell me. I'm sure you're wearing one now.
Yeah, I think
How do you
Avantika has this.
Avantika,
Yes, Avantika ji, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
yes, Avantika.
Yes, sir.
How will you know this is a gold ring?
By its qualities,
What qualities?
gold doesn't fade when it is rubbed through a surface. I mean, it's shine and all.
Well, first of all, the color. Usually the
Yeah.
golden color, right? Color.
Yes,
And then,
definitely.
as you said, you will see something else. So these are called gunas.
Yes, sir.
Although it's a dravya, the dravya cannot be known through any other way. You will know only through a guna. There's no other way you'll know a dravya.
Yes, sir.
So this is the rule number 1. That which is known. For example, milk. Okay. Now there is something white in this glass. It looks
Okay.
exactly like milk, but how will you know it is milk? How will you know? How can you be sure?
We can pour a drop of lemon in it, probably. I mean, the quality, of course.
Whatever. Or you may just take a sip. If it's not
Yes.
too risky, you may take it. Oh, this is
Yes,
not
sir.
milk. This is just some white paint mixed or something. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, you'll know a dravya only from its guna. Okay. Guna means
Yes.
quality, property. All right. That's one property. So dravya must be the material cause of it. It's always the material cause. For example, this gold ring, the material cause is gold.
Yes.
Because the material from which it's made is gold. So that's the material cause. So material cause, whatever is the material cause of a thing, that means that is the dravya of that. So because this is made of gold, so that gold is dravya, and that it's yellowish and shines and has a certain weight, etc., atomic weight, etc. Those are the
Okay.
gunas. Is it? Got it? All right.
Yes, sir.
So this is called the samavayi karana or upadana, material cause. Aristotle called it the material cause. Now, for example, you have a cloth, no? You buy some dress. So your dress, let us say cotton dress. So the dress is the dravya and the fibers, fiber, they are the material cause of the dress. Samavayi karana. All right.
Okay.
So, and those threads are also dravya because only they can be samavayi karana. And they produce another dravya called cloths. Okay. And asamvayi karana is, what is asamvayi karana? The arrangement of these fibers. You must have seen, people wear those in winter sweaters and jerseys they wear. So they have different designs.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Yes.
are plain, some have some designs. Now that's what, that is just an arrangement of these same threads. That's all, nothing else. Arrangement of the same. But that is not that is the asamvayi karana. It is not the inherent cause. Although it is in the dravya, it is in that, but it's not a dravya because it's accidental. You could have had some other design.
Okay.
Your jersey need not be yellow. It could have been yellow. It happens to be, it just happens to be, it's incidental. Those are the incidental properties.
Okay.
Asamvayi.
A thing that we can alter is a samvai.
Not alter, which remains in the dravya, but which is
Mm-hmm.
accidental. Which is accidental. For
Okay.
example, the shape of this gold ring is accidental. I could have it in any shape I like.
Hmm.
I could. So that's accident. All right.
Okay.
What I'm wearing now is black. It could have been gray. It could have been blue. Anything else could have had
Hmm.
some patterns. So they are asamvaika. And one is called the nimitta karana. Nimitta karana. This dress, somebody made it. Maybe in the
Mm-hmm.
factory. Let's make it simple. Let's say one person made it. A weaver made it. So that weaver, but weaver didn't make it just alone. Weaver needed that, what is it called, the mill and some instruments, and needed cotton. So all those, cotton is of course material cause. All those other things, the instruments and the maker and all those things, they come under nimitta. They don't stay with the object made. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
If all the weavers and everybody came with your dress which you buy, you will have a big headache. And all the instruments they made also came along with it. What a problem you would have had, right? So they don't come
Definitely.
along with the final product. They don't come along. They finish the work and the ring that you made, maybe the goldsmith who made that ring has died already.
Hmm.
All the statues that we see, those paintings, big paintings that we see, they are not alive anymore, but we see them. So that is called the nimitta. All right. So dravya is that which has guna. What is the guna? For example, fire is a dravya. And what is its guna? Heat. If you take out, let us say, if something looks like fire, but it doesn't heat, has no heat, would you call it fire?
No.
No, you won't call it fire. Similarly, sugar and sweetness. Take out sweetness from that lump of sugar, you'll say this is not sugar. So guna always will be in a dravya. Those
Okay.
present here, 99 present here, I want to ask you, can you show me one guna, one property without, which is not, independently, show it aside. For example, color red flower. Show me the red of the flower separately. Can you? Can you ever
No.
think of something like that? So you can't. The gunas will always be in a dravya.
Okay.
So these are the different gunas. I won't talk about them now because we get too late. Now, Vaisheshika in action. Okay, whether it is just a theory, conjecture, or there is something to it. So whenever we wish to understand the nature of a thing, we should first try to ascertain whether it's a dravya or a guna or a karma. Karma is action. Karma also resides in a dravya. I skipped that. You can't have movement without a dravya. For example, your car moves because a thing called car is there. Movement by itself you can't show anywhere. You are also dravya. So when you walk, that's movement. But that walking, running, I can't show running separate other than separate from you. I can't show that. That also will be in the dravya. So these, now, whenever you want to know something, first of all, you should decide whether it's a dravya, whether it's a guna, or whether it is action, whether it is motion. Most of the time, we have a problem because we don't know whether it's a dravya or guna. But once you know this theory, it will become easy. Now, friends who are familiar with science, there are many scientists here. Recently, not recently, for the last 100 years, there is a debate among physicists whether light is a wave or a particle, whether it moves like this, or is it a dot like, whether it's a wave or a particle. How many of you think it's a wave? Could we have some idea how many of us think it's a wave? Maybe in the chat. And how many of you think it's a particle? I'm sure there are many who can't decide whether it's a wave or a particle. Now, can you use Vaisheshika's definition of dravya and decide whether it's a wave or a particle? Okay, to save time. Wave means what? Wave means motion, doesn't it?
Yes,
Wave
sir.
means motion. Wave means motion. And when something is stationary, this is something called stationary. Let's say this is a particle. This is a wave. Now, wave is movement. Movement by itself, you can't show it separately. If something is moving, then there must be some medium through which it's moving. Without that, movement is not possible. I hope I made myself clear. You can think about it later. I'm not asking the answer right now. See, wave means, okay, let's check. Now I'm here, I'm talking, I'm moving my hands. Is this movement possible without my body? Let's say I'm running. Now I'm sitting, then I start running. The sitting me and running me, are they different or the same?
Different.
They're different. So
No,
when I
they are the
start
same.
running,
No, they
The
are the
essence,
same.
yeah, the essence is the same, but the action at a
that's
present time, like you can't be doing both of those things at the
That's it.
same time.
That's why I'm doing so many things right now. I'm looking at you, I'm speaking, I'm also moving my hands. And maybe I can run also and teach. If I had a smaller phone, I could, if I was using a phone, I can run also and teach. What's the problem? There are many people who walk and speak all the time over the phone.
Yeah, but you cannot sit and stand at a single time.
That's a different thing. But do I become a different person? Is walking me and sitting me, are we different? So
The
you can,
person is the same.
so you can think about it. Okay, then most important, mind. Mind is, see, mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha. Mind is the only reason for our suffering and our happiness. Without mind, we'll neither be happy nor we suffer. See, no matter in how much pain you may be right now, but suppose you get deep sleep, will that pain be there? Pain won't be there because the mind is not there at the time. So the meaning. So only when you know something it hurts you. Otherwise, it doesn't hurt you. You have some neighbors, maybe they are very serious right now, but that doesn't hurt me. Why? Because I don't know them. Not my knowledge. They're not in my, I don't know. Of course, if you tell me that your neighbor is very serious or something, then I'll get affected, right? Otherwise, if I don't know, ignorance is bliss, right? I won't know. Okay, so mind, you should understand the mind. So what Vaisheshika, how does it define? Atmendriyat sannikarsha jnanasya bhavo bhavashi manaso linga. Linga means indication. So what's the indication of the mind? See, mind you cannot see. So you have to use which pramana? Pratyaksha, eyes or something? Or which is the other pramanas we spoke about? Anumana, inference. Right? What we can't see, verify through inference. So in spite of the association of something called Atma, sense organs and objects, all the time they're in touch. But still, sometimes there is knowledge of that thing. Sometimes there is no knowledge of it. Just like the earlier example, you may be in the class, but if your mind goes away for a while somewhere outside, then what I'm saying you'll not hear for that moment. Again, so that's why, that means there is something which causes knowledge, and that is mind. And when that thing is absent, there will be no knowledge. Although Atma, because Atma can't go anywhere. Atma, Indriyas are also there, but knowledge not happen if there is no mind. You know the story of Arjuna, when the Guru Dronacharya was testing them for their archery skills. He calls everybody one by one. He says, "What do you?" He hangs a clay bird on a tree, and he asks one. The first guy comes. He says, "What do you see?" He says, "I see the bird. I see the tree. I see the clouds. I see." He says, "Go. No need to shoot. Go ahead." Ask the second guy, third guy. All of them say the same thing. That I see the trees. I see the. Then finally Arjuna comes. Dronacharya asks him, "What do you see?" Arjuna says, "I only see the bird." So what about other things? I can't see anything else. I'm seeing only the bird. So Dronacharya was happy. He said, "No need to shoot the arrow. You are the greatest archer." Because the level of concentration Arjuna had, it's impossible. You see only one thing at that time. So that means mind. That doesn't mean Arjuna was not seeing other things were not existing for Arjuna. They were existing because the mind was only at one point. You don't notice other things. Okay. So until the mind is directed towards the same object, we will not even know if the object is present there. We will not know. You are looking at me, I'm speaking to you. There are some books behind. You probably won't even notice. I hope you haven't noticed them. Okay. If you notice them, that means you're not concentrating fully. So mind can also see an object when it is not there. It can imagine. Mind cannot focus itself on a thing for more than a few seconds. That's another characteristic. And the mind can know only one thing at a time. Mind can focus on it can know only one thing at a time. That means now you are 99 here. If I'm looking at, say, Pragyaji, I won't see others. If I'm looking at someone else, I won't see. Even when I'm looking at Pragyaji, I won't see her cabinet behind her. I won't notice the color of her dress. I won't notice, the color of the walls, but I'm noticing all those walls. I noticed, that's why I enumerated them. So how did this happen? Tell me. If mind can get only one knowledge of time, why can I see so many things? And if Pragyaji speaks, I can even hear her voice. And how can you say mind sees only one? Any guesses? Pragyaji, in chat, maybe there are some questions, I don't know, or some comments. At quantum level,
So
this seems
chat, yes, the chat does not have questions, they have
Okay.
comments, but we
Okay,
do
there are
have a
comments.
couple of questions. We'll take it after you.
Okay, yeah,
if you
I'll
want to take them
quickly
now,
try
we
to,
can do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this happens because the mind is the fastest thing in the universe, not light. Light is not the fastest thing, mind is the fastest thing. That's why it moves so fast that when I'm looking at, say, Pragyaji, within a split second, I can see the color of a dress, I can see what's at the back, I can see, notice the color of walls, I can, what else I can. But it appears to be happening at the same time. It happens one by one. Just like a film, in a movie, there are 24 frames per second, but when they run at a certain speed, 24 frames per second, it looks as if there's a smooth movement. There's no smooth movement. So mind can know only one thing at a time. Now I'll give you a proof. Just look at this diagram. Can you see this? Friends, sadhus and sadhvis. By the way, sadhvi means a good lady, saintly lady, and sadhu means a saintly gentleman. So it's a good title, if you. Okay, now tell me. I want to ask you. This is a block. Is I want to ask you. How is it? It's lying above you. Is it lying to your side? Is it lying to this side, or is it lying, or you're seeing it from below, or you're seeing it from above? How many think you're seeing it from this side? How many think you're seeing it from bottom? How many think you're seeing it from top? How many think you're seeing it from here? How many think you're seeing it from here? Maybe there are other possibilities also. Yeah, one of you tell me.
Yeah, I see it from all the sides.
At the same time? At once? At the same time?
Not at the same time. At one time, the brain can see only one.
Next, anybody else?
So from bottom.
You are seeing from bottom.
Yes.
Okay, for you this is the right?
Base. Yeah, this is
This
base.
is the base. Okay. Now, why not this as the base? This much. See
That
from
can
top.
be. Yeah, that
Not
can be
can be.
possible.
Not can be. It is possible. Right?
Yeah, it is possible, but
now look,
I'm okay.
that's a different matter. You want to look from bottom. That's it. That's your choice. But you can also see it from here. You can also see it from here. Take this as the base. You can also take this as the base. You can also
Yes,
take
sir.
this as the base.
Definitely.
5 or 6 possibilities are there. But under no circumstances you will see more than one. You try your best. If you want, I'll share this diagram with you. You can keep on looking at it. Okay, look at this. What's this?
Pass.
Okay,
And then
else?
two faces, the two faces and a vase.
Both at the same time.
No, one at a time.
So that's what I'm saying. Your mind can cognize have only one at a time. You can't have two. This is just a proof. See, because what is said in the Shastra, we have to prove it also. We can't say it just because Kanada says you have to follow, right? So we have to give proof, right? That's what makes teaching interesting.
Yes, sir.
Hello? So, yes, anything you want to say? You can never see two faces on the walls at the same time. Try your best. I've been trying for decades. I couldn't. Maybe you also try. You'll not, anyway.
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
Why can't we stare at a particular object for more than few moments, and why are we attracted towards some other place, some other
Because that's the nature of the mind. It can't stay still, even for more than a second or two. It can't. That's the nature of the mind. And I don't have time to discuss that now, but if you join the class, I'll tell you why. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that the mind sees so many things, but then it's a bad thing also. We'll come to that later. So mind is the fastest moving entity in the universe. We cognize through the five senses, and the mind is the coordinator. See, I see only color and form, does not see taste. Tongue only see experience taste, but not color. But when you eat, say, a laddu, yellow laddu, you know that it's this. Your eyes can't see the taste. So, but mind knows, oh, this is the one, it is sweet, and that's because mind coordinates. It's like the manager, mind manager. And most important thing, mind makes a resolve. You want something, mind makes a resolve. You have a new iPhone in the market, you see an ad somewhere and you say, oh, I want to buy that. Quite a resolve. Or let's say you just want to buy a phone. Okay. But then will you buy any phone? You'll go to the market or on the Amazon.com, you look for various options. Very rare are the people who will buy the very first thing they come across. Normally, you like to look for options. This is the job of the mind. Otherwise, you'll get stuck with the first wrong option. The first option itself is wrong. Let's start. Atma also is inferred. See, knowledge is the guna of Atma. Jnana is Atma's guna, and guna can always stay, according to Vaisheshika, in a dravya. Right? Atma is also dravya. And Atma has to be conscious because knowledge cannot be had by something that is gross, something that is matter. They cannot have knowledge. Knowledge can be had only by something that's conscious. All right, I will go a little fast now. All right. I'll just give you a brief background, Vaisheshika. It was mentioned even in the Mahabharata. Vaisheshika is mentioned in the Mahabharata because his other name is Uluka. This is discussed in the Shanti Parva and Anusashan Parva and Udyoga Parva. Now the problem is Mahabharata itself is, we are not sure when it was, how old it is. But anyway, it's certainly older than 4,000 or 5,000 years. So this Vaisheshika Darshana was there even before that. Philosophical system known as Vaisheshika is therefore much older. Kanada only formulated the knowledge. This Uluk or Kanada, he just wrote a book on that. He's not the one who generated, who gave birth to this. This was there in the Vedas in a seed form. Kanada took it and gave it. So here's called Kanada. Kana means a grain, Ada means to eat. There's a story that he used to eat grains left over in the fields. He used to pick them up and then cook them and eat. But this is not very convincing. More convincing is Kana also means atom, Paramanu. So because he spoke about Paramanu, so he got the name Kanada. All right. Why is Vaisheshika important? So there is a saying, Kanadam Paniniyam Cha Sarvashastropakara. Kanadam, that means the system of Kanada, that is Vaisheshika, and Paniniya, the system of Pani, that is the Vyakarana, grammar. They are important Sarvashastras. Without, they are necessary for every subject in the universe. Without logic and without grammar, how can you study anything? Any subject, whether it's physics, maths, sociology, biology, psychology, anything, medicine. You need these two. So that's why Vaisheshika is very important. We all want to make our lives comfortable and happy. Vaisheshika's aim is to make the life comfortable. Because by knowing the padarthas, you can use them for your advantage. But you shouldn't get stuck just there. Ultimately, moksha also has to be used. This knowledge has to be useful in life. Because The knowledge which is not useful in life is useless. Just theoretical reasoning is useless. It accepts Vedas as the ultimate source, not just a structure of Vaisheshika. It's written in sutra style. You have shlokas, you have karikas, you have so many prose also. Sutra is one style, so it is written as sutras. It has 10 chapters. Each chapter has 2 sub-chapters, right? Total of 370 sutras. So it's a short text, not too long. We'll be doing just the first chapter, which has 2 sub-chapters. So we'll be doing that in the part 1 of Vaisheshika. In part 2, we'll be doing the second. So Adhyaya 1, first Ahanika. Ahanika means what can be taught in a day. So sub-chapter, it has 31 sutras, and second Ahanika has 17 sutras. Total 48 sutras will be covering in 2 parts. All right. Why the name Vaisheshika Darshana? This is because it talks about Visheshas. Visheshas are the Mahabhutas, Akash, Vayu, and what? Agni, Jala, and Earth. I won't get into that because it talks about those things, so that's so good. But Sheshika, this I've already told you. Okay. Now there are many commentaries on it. All these sutras, pretty difficult to understand, and they're very brief. So the sutras, they are accompanied usually by commentaries and sub-commentaries. So Ravana Bhashya, attributed to Ravana of Ramayana, was a great scholar, Vidwan. It's not available now. Then Katandi Tika is there, Vakya Tika, all these different are there. So we will be using just the Prashasthapada Bhashya. And this. So I think I'm on time. Now, if there's a question, you may ask.
Yes, Kuldeep ji, your video is off, and
Is it off? Oh, sorry.
yeah. So we do have a couple of questions. Should we start from Jayashree ji? I can read the question for you. You can just respond to that.
Okay.
Prama or Jnana cannot deny knowledge of nothingness just because we cannot see or hear or smell it.
What? Once again?
I think it should be Praman. Praman or Gyan cannot deny knowledge of nothingness just because we cannot see or hear or smell it.
See, but you can know it, right? Who asked the question? Ask her. Can you know it
Jayashree.
that there is nothing? Jayashree ji, can you know it? It's there. No, I don't know what she's saying.
Jayashree ji, would you want to ask this question or
Can't she
from live?
speak? Can't she
Yeah,
unmute
if she
herself?
raises her hand, I'll be able to.
Is Vaisheshika offered as a course by HUA? Somebody asked. Yes, it's a certificate course, right?
It is part of our certificate program in Hindu studies. I've
I think
unmuted Jayashree ji.
I can guess the question. She's saying just because nothingness cannot be seen by the 5 senses and all that, so we can't deny it. So same thing with the mind. Mind also cannot be seen by the 5 senses. Same thing with Atma. Same thing with gravity. I can't see gravity, but I can't deny it. You're not saying that only Pratyaksha is there. Anumana is also there. Then some things cannot be known by Anumana. For that, you have this Shabda Pramana. There are many ways of knowing. In fact, Pratyaksha, how much do we have? Tell me. Pratyaksha is just maybe 2% of our knowledge comes from Pratyaksha Pramana, from direct sense perception. Only 2%. Earth goes around the sun. You believe it, right? All of you believe it. I mean, you're sure about it. But none of us has seen that. None of us has gone to space to check whether Earth goes around the sun or not. So that's not Pratyaksha possible. Why do we believe it? Because those great scientists tell us. We trust those scientists, so we believe it. There's atom, then it has a neutron, it has a proton, proton. So what? I haven't seen. Even the scientists don't see them. It's a mathematically derived thing. So we are not saying that everything has to be known through the five senses. What is this course link? Okay.
I've sent the course link
hope
to
I
everyone.
answered. I hope I answered Jayashri ji, was it, or somebody else?
Yeah, Jayashri.
Jayashri ji, did I answer you?
I have unmuted her. I do not know. Maybe we will. She's not here at the moment. We can take the next question, Kuldeep ji from Abhishek Virgankar. Guruji, is this concept of dhyana? This is his question. Is this the concept of dhyana?
What is the concept of?
Is this as in maybe Vaisheshik he's asking? Abhishek ji, are you there?
Your question has to be clear. What's the context? What is this? Are you talking about Vaisheshika Darshana, or you're talking about some particular?
I don't know if he's there. Let me check.
Next, never mind. What about check the next one, they'll come back.
Okay. So we have Krishna Gauraji asking you how many sutras in Vaisheshik Sutras say
370.
Newton's
370.
third law. Okay.
370 sutras. What is it?
Newton's third law in physics.
Yeah. What about that?
So which of the Vaisheshika Sutras states Newton's third law of physics?
Okay, see, it's like this. There are some people who have taken Vaisheshika Darshana to show that Vaisheshika Darshana also talks about the Newtonian laws of motion and gravity. And but the thing is, there is no direct sutra which talks about it. As I told you, there's a Prashastapad Bhashya. Prashastapad was a great scholar. He wrote a commentary on the Vaisheshika Sutras, and he talks about these because I told you sutras are very brief. You have to elaborate upon them. And Prashastapada, he talks greatly in what is it called? Sanskar Prakaranam. He talks at length about motion and so many aspects. And so some people, they quote parts of that bhashya, not the whole thing, parts of that bhashya show that Vaisheshika Darshana talks about the same thing. But I have to still study it deeply to say anything. But yeah, it does talk about motion, no doubt. And the thing is, Prashaspad, existed about 1,000 years before Newton. So what I would suggest is the scientists who are here and others, if there's any physicist, you take up this course, then we can study it more deeply, and then we have to sit with some physicist or some expert in motion and take sutra by sutra, bhashyas also, and then see whether it applies. Most of the time, it's not, because I studied that, it doesn't give a very clear link. It doesn't give a very clear link. And those papers have been published because nobody reads the sutras. They don't even mention the sutra number or I think you may have got it on the net. Check on the net. They never give you the sutra number. So it takes very difficult to. It's not certainly not there in the sutras directly. There in the bhashya, the commentary, it is.
Kuldeep ji, Sanjay Parthasarthi ji would like to ask you a question. Sanjay ji, I've unmuted you. You can ask the question directly.
Yeah, thank you, Sonalji. Thank you, Kuldeep ji, for this wonderful introduction. Kuldeep ji, I have a question. I also put it in the chat. It is said that the systems of Indian, like the systems of logic that we have, like in Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they were refuted by Nagarjuna, also Buddhist, by his Chatuskoti system of logic. And that is why then we have to later develop the Navya system of logic. Is this true or?
See, it's like this. Nagarjuna also formulated his logic because he had to prove his Shunyavada and all that. See, when you have a theory, so you have to give some logic for it. So he produced his own logic. Before that, we certainly had logic because Gautama is the one who gave us the Nyaya Shastra and Kanada gave us the Vaisheshika Shastra. But what happened is when Buddhism became a force to be reckoned with, and they started criticizing the Vedantic theories because Vedantic theories believe in Atma. So they say there is
Right.
no Atma. Buddhism doesn't believe in Atma. Buddhism doesn't believe in permanence. Vedic, they believe in permanence. And so when the attack is there, so to counter them, Navya and all those others, they developed. Because until there is a threat, why do you produce weapons? Until coronavirus was there, you didn't think of the vaccine. You thought of the vaccine because there's a problem. So Hindu philosophers, Hindu thinkers, they had to counter Buddhists because they were using all sorts of logic to debunk Hinduism. And Hinduism was losing, many people are getting converted to Buddhism. So they had to use, they reinvented their theories, they formulated them more properly, and they countered it and survived.
So
Because
is it that the
ultimately,
previous? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interject. Sorry, sir. I was just asking, is it that because we developed the Navya logic is it because the previous systems of logic were refuted effectively by Nagarjuna and they were not adequate enough?
No. They were not refuted. But see, you have to keep reinventing yourself. If Hinduism has survived for so long, it's because it has kept reinventing itself. It's not the same old thing. New people come, they add to the old knowledge. Now you are learning. We expect you to add to what's there. If you keep parroting the same thing, what's the use? Then it becomes stagnant, correct? I, in my own way, I'm trying to add something of my own to it. Then some of you may be gifted enough to add something more to it because things keep changing. Now we have modern science, we have so many things, we have the left, we have so many other opposing parties. So we have to rise to the occasion. The challenges are different. At that time, challenges were different. Now the challenges are different. So if you don't adapt, if you don't find answers for that, then we'll be lost. You have to be very alert. That's what it is.
Thank you, sir.
Kuldeep ji, Nalini ji would like to ask a question. We have just 5-6 more minutes. So we'll just quickly take all the questions that we have so far. Nalini ji, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm from India and I've been following your webinars. So I wanted to know when you say ki Vaisheshika mein they say that every dravya must have a gun and knowledge and a gun can only reside in a dravya. And then you talked about knowledge. So where does buddhi come in this? Because according to Sankhya, everything other than the Purush and Prakriti, when they talk about, even buddhi is subtle element only from Mahat and Mahatattva.
Didn't follow this. Buddhi is subtle.
So is knowledge, is the seat of knowledge buddhi?
The seat of buddhi is just a proxy of knowledge. See, buddhi comes under prakriti. If you're talking about Sankhya, buddhi comes under prakriti. Everything in prakriti is actually gross. It has no consciousness. Okay, so buddhi also is actually matter, but still we say buddhi is conscious because, I'll give you an example. Now, let's say, what do you drink, tea or coffee or something else? Just ask me.
Sorry?
Okay, what do you drink? Usually tea or coffee or milk or something.
Yeah, tea.
work with tea. Somebody, you make tea, somebody gives tea and you immediately you start drinking and your lip gets burnt, right?
Yeah.
And then you apply something. Then I ask you, hey, what happened? What happened to your lips? Now, what's the reply you give? You would give normally.
Yeah, I got a burning sensation.
No, what made it? What is the cause for that?
The hot tea.
Hot tea. So that's not a wrong answer, right? But technically it's a wrong answer because tea doesn't have the property of burning anything. Tea is
Right.
made of water, tea is made up of tea leaves, tea is made up of maybe sugar and milk. Neither milk can burn you, nor tea leaves can burn your lips. No, neither, what else is there? Water or nothing can burn your lips. Still your lips got burnt because it's the heat.
It's the heat, yeah.
Which is not any of these. It's an outer thing. Because of that, actually got burnt because of the heat. But in general language, you say, because if you say it got burnt because of the heat, I laugh at you. I say, I know it must have got burnt because of the heat. Obviously. But what's the cause? What made it burn? That's what I want to know. So your answer won't be wrong, but technically it's wrong. Now, heat burnt it. Same thing. Buddhi thinks. Buddhi, but thinking can be done only by a conscious entity. Buddhi is not conscious. Yet we say it thinks because it behaves as a conscious thing, and that consciousness it gets from Purusha. It borrows from Purusha, just like your phone gets its charge from the mains, just like your computer gets. It's not its own. It's the same thing with Buddhi.
Yeah, thank you. That's a brilliant analogy. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
We can take 2-3 more questions, Kuldeepji, quickly. We do not have a name. It says anonymous attendee. In a concise sentence, how would you summarize this course and knowledge can help an individual in both worldly and spiritual terms, please?
Because the second the sutra, second or third sutra of Vaisheshika says, Vaisheshika will lead to Abhyudaya and Nishreyas. It will take you to Abhyudaya. Abhyudaya is prosperity. Okay, Abhyudaya is prosperity. And Nishreyas. See, prosperity by itself is nothing much. But Nishreyas also, Moksha also, both. You should have both. Just one. Unfortunately, many of us have having this lopsided view of moksha, etc. We think somebody who is in moksha has to be without any belongings, should be poor, should be a hermit, or nothing like that. Krishna was not a hermit. He had everything. Yet he's called Yogishwara. He's called Yogishwara, right? Rama also had everything. But when he had to give up, he left without any problem, right? So for us, wealth is we should be proud of having it. It's because you have some wealth, that's why you're attending this webinar. Otherwise, how would you attend? Suppose you didn't have any money. You didn't have a phone, if you didn't have, the net connection and all that. So wealth is not bad. It's only when wealth becomes the only reason and when we do it without dharma. See, dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Moksha can be had, but you need artha and kama also. But that artha and kama, artha is what? The means of resources. But that artha, I can also get money by wrong methods. No, it should be done through dharma. So that's why dharma comes first. There's no harm in making billions so long as it is done by dharma, by righteousness. Then, same thing, then you can have moksha also. Because no matter how much money you have, you won't be happy. Money just alone won't give you happiness. Yes.
Last, I think we can just take one more. Is there any correlation with yoga samya when it comes to core approach of this philosophy?
What?
Tripti
Once
is
again?
asking this. Is
Once
there
again?
any correlation with yoga or samya when it comes to core approach of this philosophy?
What is samya? Sankhya, I think they want to say.
Yeah, I think it should be sankhya. Tripti ji, would you like to clarify this? Yeah, I read her message in the chat. It's Sankhya.
There is certainly a correlation because many people think all these 6 systems are different. There are some think they are opposed to each other. They are not opposed to each other. They are complementary. They are complementary. So Sankhya and Yoga, Vedanta, all will help you. That's why we are doing this course at HUA. We teach all these things. And ideally, see, you can't understand, for example, you can't understand Vedanta without the knowledge of Sankhya and Yoga. Can't. And you should also have knowledge of Vaisheshika. Bhagavad Gita, you can't understand properly without this. So you should have all these shastras. You should at least you should be competent enough, if not a master of these. Only then you will understand. Otherwise, lopsided view. They say something and we'll understand it as something else. For example, people say, Atma is nirguna. Atma is nirguna. And then they also hear nirguna means without gunas. So they translate gunas as qualities like, hot, cold, good, bad, that kind of gunas they translate. And they also then hear that Atma is Satchid Ananda. Then they say, what kind of a philosophy is this? First they say it is without gunas. Now they're saying it is Sat, it is Chit, it is Ananda. So these are gunas, aren't they? Aren't they gunas? Qualities. So this is very contradictory. Actually, this is because we haven't studied properly. Guna here doesn't mean these qualities of the world, red, blue, good, bad. No. Guna is the 3 gunas, Satya, Raj and Tama gunas. Those 3 gunas are there. And Prakriti, anything in this universe has those 3 gunas. Atma is free of these gunas. So, but this you'll know only if you have read the philosophy properly. Sankhya also you have read Nyaya also, Vaisheshika also, and some fair amount of grammar also.
Just one last question and then we close, Kuldeep ji. Yashpal ji is asking, are these concepts being explained in a graphical form?
By me?
I'm not sure,
I
Yashpal
suppose
ji.
that's what. See, I'll be sharing all my notes with you. You'll be getting the PDF, and in class I'll be showing that to you. Wherever possible, there will be a diagram, like I showed you that logic diagram, that thing and the flower. See, everything cannot be represented graphically, and but a lot of examples. More than 1 hour will be for questions and answers. Roughly 1 hour teaching, and more than 1 hour will be discussion. And
yes, and the discussions of Kuldeep ji's classes are extremely interesting. And I've taken a course with him, and I would definitely do more. So
is
thank you,
anybody
Kuldeep.
is anyone from the panel? I mean, among the panelists, is there any student or ex-student? Maybe they can speak a little bit. They were supposed to say something. Could you request?
Anyone
or maybe they can volunteer.
from our audience who has taken Kuldeep ji's courses? I do not see anyone, Kuldeep ji.
There must be somebody. All deserted me this time.
James has taken your course, James Hope.
Yes, James Hope is there. Yeah, he'll be a good candidate. He's a scientist.
James, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, James, please come on. You are the only hope now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Others have deserted me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
but I wish we could also see you, if it is possible.
Well, let's see if you can.
Yes,
I don't think so.
No, you can. You will have to turn on your video.
Yeah, it's not giving me the opportunity of doing that, though. I don't know why.
Promoted you to a panelist. Just check. You should
Okay,
be.
join as panelist.
I've taken a course. Somebody said I've taken a course.
Here I am. Yes.
Rakesh
So
Ranjan is here. Oh, that's James.
I've
James.
actually taken several of Kuldipji's courses. Last one I did was the Nyaya Darshana, and they're always it's actually his interactive way of teaching is great. The combination of discussion during the course of the actual classes themselves is great, and also there's other discussion that takes place outside the class through the HUA system, and also some informal discussions as well. And they're always very much a lot of engagement. I tend to engage when I have something specific to say, but I follow everything very closely, and it really helps to understand and the way things go. And the combination of his notes and any additional information that you take and the recordings gives you a really easy, simple way to go back and check to make sure if a new concept appears that doesn't seem to actually match, you can very, very easily find it in the documentation of the previous classes without necessarily feeling that you need to stop the current class to confirm something of your own. And so I'm really looking forward to the beginning of this Vaisheshika class. Is that I am registered, but it's still not appearing on my HUA dashboard for some reason. But we're really looking forward
James,
to participating. Sorry?
Okay, yeah. I said that it will appear on your dashboard. We are still in the process of
okay.
registration.
Okay, good.
It's our process.
Yeah.
So you will see it in a couple of days.
And James, it would be nice to have you and others like you in the course, because you are well versed in modern science.
Yeah.
And when we take up a concept from there, and we'll try to see how it fits in, whether it agrees
and as a Westerner trained in conventional Western science, to me, all of these ancient texts that I've studied with Kuldipji, it's quite astonishing how the quote new knowledge gained by the West was actually very nicely sketched out both in logic and fact that was available with the instruments that were available in the days of these texts being written, that completely and utterly covers our understanding of the universe now. In fact, goes beyond it. And interestingly, you may have seen recently the quote revelation of modern science that possibly individual human consciousness is connected to the a consciousness in the greater universe. Now, so Western science took until 2021 to figure that out, but you could see this written clear as daylight in all of these ancient texts. And so for me, crossing the cultural boundary here, and also a cultural distance as well, it's quite astonishing to see how universal these things are. And our Western way of doing things is show me, show me, show me, show me. Basically, is all it's doing is confirming what was already proposed along thousands of years ago. And so James, it's absolutely astonishing to me, and very, James, very enlightening.
Yeah. Thank you. I would like to add, you're saying you grew up in a Western scientific atmosphere. Frankly, we also grew up in a Western scientific atmosphere, even in India. Nobody teaches these things to us. We were not taught this in school or college or anywhere. Nobody teaches, frankly speaking. Even in philosophy, only recently some mention is being made of these things. So we are as culturally distant from it as you are. Okay, most of Indians may not have heard Vaisheshika, the name Vaisheshika, they may not have heard. So we are as distant. Now the thing is, we are trying to rediscover, we're not trying to take things back, but the only thing is we can see, we don't have to throw the baby with the baths. Okay, so bath water may have become dirty, so we throw the dirty water, but the baby is fine, we take the baby, and then we proceed with what we learned from the West, because earlier also there was give and take. I think Rakesh Ranjanji wants to say something. It will be
Yes.
always interesting to listen. Yes, Rakesh. He is a doctor and he's a psychiatrist. He is a
Thank you. Good to be here. I've been listening to this from the
your
beginning.
voice is a bit low. Volume is.
Volume? Okay, let me see. Huh. My volume is maxed out here, so I don't know. I'll just speak.
Oh, now it's
It's
better.
better now. It's good.
Better
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. So, well, it's good to be here. I joined this at the very outset. Maybe I was late by a minute or two. So thank you. Good to see you, Kuldeep ji.
Same here.
Well, I'm so excited about this course because I did complete a course with Kuldeep ji on Nyaya Darshana, and it was simply amazing for me because James was talking about having been born in the Western Hemisphere and all that, and trained according to Western methods. Well, I was born in India. I had no idea about any of this, to be very honest, and opened up my eyes in so many different ways. I'm simply overwhelmed with the depth of knowledge that our ancestors had. And I'm just kind of starting to learn about it really at the surface right now. So, but about Kuldeep ji and the course that I took. So, I mean, I can easily say that Kuldeep ji is an exceptional teacher. And why? Because first of all, he gives you very, very elaborate notes. Not every faculty does that, because I've taken quite a few courses. I'm also involved in the graduate program for Hindu studies. So, and then his enthusiasm for discussion and in teaching is just infectious. I just enjoyed every interaction, every class. I mean, every class in the course that I took or I attended. And he really takes the whole class with him. That's one of his greatest qualities, because the way he paces the learning, he gives an opportunity to every student in the class he will go back to the concept he already taught. And I think that's a great way to kind of bring the whole class with him, so nobody is left behind. And so, because we all have our busy lives, sometimes we miss a class here and there, sometimes we join late, stuff like that happens. And he will give you time. I mean, I have at times like half an hour after the class was over, we was chit-chatting on the Zoom. No other faculty does that I know of. So my hat's off to you, Kuldeep ji. I mean, you are an exceptional teacher, and the topics that you're teaching resonate with everybody, I think, especially with those who are, in modern sciences. So thank you. I highly recommend this. I'm going to be joining this. I hope it does not conflict with any of my graduate courses. So thank you.
So, all right. So it'll be great to see you all, and even new people, new friends, new sadhus and sadhuis who are present. Some may have already gone to bed by now. Anyway, there are 46 still there. So
Yes.
Thanks for your endurance, and hope to see you soon, as many of you as possible. Right, gentlemen and ladies, sadhuis. Oh, Vinod Gupta ji is also there. So he was also one of the students in some of the earlier classes. I'm not sure of my. Okay, right then. So hope to see you. What is it? July 18th, or when is it beginning?
Yes, Kuldeep ji, your course, right? Your course begins on July 17th, ends on September 25th. We will be sharing a recording of this webinar with everyone who has registered for it. And for any help or any questions, concerns, we'll be there. You can write to the email address or the numbers that we have provided. You can call me or any of our counselors. And for any academic questions, I'll have Kuldeep ji looped in.
All right.
So it was a pleasure hosting you, Kuldeep ji. As always, it has been really nice listening to you. And thank you all of you for attending, giving your time. And we all hope to see you in some of the classes, especially Kuldeep Ji's. So thank
Right.
you very much. We'll close now.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.